You're listening to the BestBox podcast, where we talk about how to build healthy businesses and communities in the digital era. Hosted by tech entrepreneurs Tony Holbrook and Nicole Moore, and produced by photographer and musician Jake Warren, we share insights on how to connect, serve, and grow so you can thrive as a digital entrepreneur.
All right, welcome back this week. This week we are going to do a demonstration of the BestBox app and platform. So if you are listening to this, definitely make sure you check out our YouTube channel for the recording so you can see this in live action. But that's what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna go through the athlete app as well as the coaches admin and what things are different if you're an owner and what that access looks like. So yeah, before we hop in, Tony's basically going to demonstrate on the phone so we can see this. Let's get started.
Yeah. And I thought it'd be good to give people some context. Like, we just spent the last 3-4 episodes talking a lot about the company, and I mean, that's good context and stuff around us, but what we maybe failed to do is the actual product behind the scenes. And so BestBox is a gym management platform, and we've talked a lot about it. And so now we wanted to show a little bit behind the scenes. And for those of you that are just listening in audio, we will do our best to try to describe kind of what it is. But we'll definitely have the full video version of this up on YouTube. And I imagine we'll probably slice and dice clips out of this and probably get it up on Instagram and stuff like that. So if people want to follow us on Instagram, bestbox.co is the handle there. We'll probably have some stuff there. But yeah, let's get going into it. So
Tony, do you want to give any overview of just what to expect from a software that is in startup phase, in testing phase?
So where we're at, we were in we finished our MVP, I guess it was May last year of 2020. We launched it into our first gym May of 2020, give or take. We ran it there for a year, kind of stabilized things, figured out some of the nitty-gritty behind the scenes for how to bill people, how to manage refunds, all that sort of basic stuff. We're now rolled out into 6, 7, 8 gyms now, or at least 8 fitness businesses. And so we're still sort of ironing things out. We focused a lot on the actual functionality around payments and cash flow and stuff. As a business, you need cash flow to work. And so now we're sort of going through some of the athlete delight type features and stuff. And we're still running into devices that, an old iPhone or something like that maybe has some compatibility issues or whatever it happens to be. But like any software, there will be bugs that we will find, and we'll do our best to sort of squash them. But we're sort of in that sort of rapid development phase and quickly learning new exceptions to things and things we need to address. So.
Awesome. And yes, for anyone who is watching, that is a paper cat on my wall behind me.
I didn't even notice that. It'll definitely date it with the Christmas stuff. And we recorded our demo Christmas. All right. Let me I'll screen share and we'll go a little bit. So to set the stage for what BestBox is, if you are a athlete and you are a member of a gym, or you are a client of a personal trainer or anything like that, they may ask you to download the BestBox app. And so you download that on iOS or Android from any of your stores, and you install it there, and you'll go through this process of creating an account. If you are a fitness entrepreneur, either a micro gym owner or a personal trainer or something like that, you can sign up for a BestBox management account, and that gives you access to bill members, set up programs, do billing and that sort of things, and have your clients join you as part of the gym. And then as that, you can also give an account to a coach, and so the coaches or the trainers for your gym can get sort of a non-financial view of the back end of the system, but still be able to do programming and class attendance and all of that sort of stuff. So those are kind of the 3 different roles, let's say, that you can have when you use the BestBox application, and we'll kind of go through each one of them. So where do you want to start, Nicole?
Let's start with the athlete app, how to log in, join a gym, get set up to get started with the classes.
Cool. All right. So let me just, I'm going to join from here. All right, share screen. Start broadcast 1. I'm going to share my screen of my screen share.
Awesome.
All right, can you see that now? Yeah, you can, hey? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys got my phone now, and so this is the BestBox app. This is where you start. I wonder, should I make this a little bit bigger for people? Is it? That's okay, I guess. Wonder. Same. Okay. Do you want me to log in with myself or?
Yeah, log in
Should I
with
create a
your
new
own
account?
account. So yeah, well, will you log in there? Yeah. Good. So if you don't have a login, like you can see Tony logging in here with his own account. When you create an account, all you need is your email. We don't ask for any other information. Email, you get sent a code, password, and you're good to go. It's really easy to set up your account.
It kicked me out of the screen share. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Oh.
It didn't like me screen sharing while I was entering passwords or something like that. Hold on.
That's the safety thing. That probably makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. As soon as I started entering the password, it isn't like that. So cool. Share my screen. 2, 1. Cool. All right. So I logged in. What you guys would have, so what you would have seen was me just entering my username and password, and then I came to the first page. And so what you see here is I'm an active user. I'm a member of a few different gyms here, both because I actually go to a few of these gyms, but also for testing and demonstration purposes and stuff like that. And so I guess the first thing that you'll do is you'll actually join a gym. So this middle section here that says My Gyms, this is where you'll see a list of sort of all the different gyms in your area that you can join. And you can go to any one of them. You can click on this. I'm already a member of this gym, so that one doesn't make sense. When you click on the actual gym itself, it'll show you a description of the gym. It'll allow you to buy the different types of memberships and allow you to contact them via phone or email. So if I click one of those buttons, it'll probably, I don't want to click it right now. Let's see. Well, yeah, see, it'll ask you to make the phone call, and then the email will work right away. When you come into the classes and the drop-ins, so these are the two different sort of products that you can purchase. Classes and drop-ins, they just have a one-time drop-in or a 10 punch pass at this particular gym. And then for their memberships, they've got these ones. So an annual membership, 10 classes per month, 14 classes per month, unlimited sessions, etc. So it's pretty simple. Members will just come in here. They can see the description, they can see all the different programs that they have access to, as well as the cost. And then if they want to, they can purchase from here. So if you press the buy button, I have credit card information stored here already, so this is already pre-populated. If you don't have credit card information, then it will ask you to fill this information out here, and it'll choose it from there. You can also see this one's prorated, so the way that they have this particular membership set up is that it bills automatically on the first of every month. So I pay $16 for the last few days of the month here or whatever, and then it'll bill again on the first. That's a setting that gyms can change so that they can bill kind of by the week or by the month or whatever it happens to be, but that's just how they have this one set up. I'm not going to pay because I don't have a membership of this gym. But yeah, that's kind of going into sort of the gym details. So then once you join a gym, you can come into the My Classes and you can see all the different classes. We're in like a COVID lockdown and stuff right now. So this particular gym doesn't have a whole lot of classes. It looks like they just have one class here for the day. So you can come in here. There's still a time. This class just happens to be running all day. You can see the warm up. You can see the strength session, and you can see a Metcon here. So it looks like they're doing 4 rounds for time. When you go into the strength, you can see the different instructions there. You can also log your performance here, or your weight here, and leave any comments that you want for the coaches. And so that can be a good way for you to go back and look at kind of how you performed. If you did this workout again in the future, you can see, I struggled today, didn't get much sleep, or felt good, go harder next time, like that sort of commentary. Is there anything I'm missing on this part, Nicole?
No.
Oh,
and if you're looking at classes and you go try to book a class and you don't have an active membership, it then prompts you to purchase a punch pass or a membership before you can go and buy it. So it makes it really easy for the gym in terms of managing punch passes. Pretty much, you can't book a class, you can view it without having a pass. So
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point.
Really
So
handy.
it says by here. If I was a member of the gym, it would say book, I think is the word, and then
Yeah.
it will allow me to sign in to that. So that's that. That's how you kind of can join a gym. You can book a class. The classes will often have an attendance here too. Like in this case, they say 0 because we don't have attendance set up for this. Obviously, because it's all virtual right now. But normally, if there's 10 spots or whatever, it would say like 8 of 10 booked or whatever, so you could see how many are available. Yeah. And then also down here at the bottom on the homepage, so like this is the homepage side of things. It shows you your last 3 performances for the work that you've done. And so this is kind of a good way of going, okay, well, when was the last time I was in and where did I leave off? Like what things did I work on? So if I click on my back squat here, it'll actually show, okay, there's the comment that I did. It was 76% of our 1 rep max stuff that we were doing. Here's my weight percentages and stuff. So if I ever go back and we're doing, 75% or whatever it is, I've got all my stuff here. Yeah, just quick, easy way to sort of get back into things. And then a couple other things for an athlete. So you've got personal information here. You can keep everything up to date there. I'll maybe censor this stuff for the video because that's all my personal stuff. What else do they got? So under my performance, so on the menu here, there's this thing in the top left-hand corner. It's called a hamburger icon for anybody that doesn't know that, because it looks like a hamburger, I guess, with 3 lines. You can click on, so home goes back to the home page. My gyms, we looked at that. Those are the gyms that you have in your favorites. My performance is a good one that you can go into. So this is a way that if you are just doing your own session, say today I'm doing some back squat or something like that, I can look up anything that I've done in the past, like any of the back squats that I've done. Okay, great. Here's one. Here's the percentages, etc. If I want to log something, then I can press this log button up in the top right-hand corner, and I can choose the movement that I want to track. So maybe I want to track some bench press today. I can record the sets, add a comment, and then that will then show up in my movement history as well. So you can log both the stuff that comes within the class itself here, but you can also log your own workouts as well that you do and keep that same sort of history. What else? News feed is another feature. We don't have this one set up right now, but this is where you'll get a feed of communications from the gym. We're just kind of implementing some of that stuff. Payment info is like your wallet. So this is where you can add or update credit cards. If your credit card expires for whatever reason, you can just go in here and update this and it'll retry any missing payments or anything that you have. So that's good from a gym owner perspective. Like you don't have to follow up with people. If for some reason their credit card fails, the system will automatically retry a certain number of times. It'll email them, encourage them to change their or update their credit card information, etc. And they can do that all from within the app. Payment info, order history. This shows all the stuff that's going on. So I think this is my current. No, so it's not current. That was something that I put into the shopping cart. Oh yeah, that's the one that I just put in the shopping cart. So any order history that you had for the gym will show up there. Find a gym allows you to search for any other gyms in the area, and as we add gyms, we'll add those onto that list. My punch passes shows you where if you have any punch passes. I don't have any for this gym. I should set this up. But normally, what somebody would see here is if you have 10 sessions or something like that, it'll show you the number of passes you have left for that gym, and be able to show the history of that stuff. Yeah. And I think that covers most of the stuff. Yeah, version 1.6.
Totally. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that's the athlete app. That's what the athlete would kind of end up seeing. Am I missing anything?
Nope, totally. No? It makes it easy to get your membership, book your classes, see your history. I think the one thing we didn't show was there was a leaderboard for the day within each movement, but that's it.
Yeah, I can maybe go back to that. I don't know if I'll be able to find that right now because we don't have any classes running right now because of the COVID stuff. Yeah. So, sorry, we'll show that another time.
Sweet.
Okay,
all right, so let's move on to a coach's admin. Let's look at how we basically coach's admin on how we manage a class. So a coach logs in, finds the class for the day, views the attendance and the WOD screen.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'll log in. So you just go to bestbox.app. This is where everyone will log in. So like I said, there's two ways you can log in. You can log in as an owner or as a coach. An owner has access to some of the financial and the administrative setup stuff, and then a coach has access to like programming and coach zone and that sort of stuff. So I'll log in as a coach for Kemp's Athletics, the gym that we own. Cool. It's a little bigger. Okay, so this is the home screen. When you come in here, it's pretty simple. Has a list of classes and stuff. Where our coaches basically always go is this area here called the coach zone. And so the coach zone has a list of the different classes that are up and coming. You can pick any one of these classes. So if I pick, say, tomorrow's 6:45 a.m. class, if there's anybody booked, they'll show up here. It looks like this person booked before we shut down the classes, but anybody that is attending will show up here. This is where you can cancel them or sign them into the class. And so when there's kind of a few statuses, right? When an athlete reserves a spot in class, they book it. Then their spot is reserved, but they're not signed in. They still have the ability to cancel, and you as a gym owner have the ability to set a cancellation time frame. So I think we have it set within 8 hours a person can cancel the class, or maybe it's within 1 hour or something like that. Different gyms have different settings that they may want to use there, but that will control that side of things. And then once they actually show up to class, we sign them in. We've been using this in our own gym as like our COVID tracking, so that we know for sure who is actually in the gym. That way, if we have any sort of like contact list that we need to generate, we can do that. But this shows them sort of the basics. This is where you do stuff. Now, if I wanted to join this class, say I had an athlete show up, I would come in here and I would just search for their name or their email address. Okay, here's my stuff. Cool. I'm going to book you for this thing. All right, I signed Tony in. He didn't show up. I'm going to cancel him out of here because he actually didn't show up for class.
And all of that class management in terms of booking your classes, signing in for your classes, or canceling classes can all be done within the app. We encourage gyms to build a culture that when an athlete comes in, they open their own app and sign themselves in, but we make sure there's capabilities on both sides for you to also sign the people in.
It's a good point. We try to make the whole premise of the BestBox solution to kind of put the power in the hands of the athlete. So that you as a coach can coach your class and say, what are your percentages? Check your app. What's the workout? Check your app. Did you log your score? Do it in the app. Is there communication? It's in the app. What are the announcements? They're in the app. Like, you have questions, contact through the app. Like that should be the idea, right? So that businesses don't have to set up all these other systems. So. Okay, so on the coach zone, you've got everything set up. You can see a little sneak peek of what the workout is. This is probably the most used section of things. This is our WOD board, or our WOD zone. This has a built-in timer here. You can go from the different movements. So you've got the warm-up here on one screen. You can program whatever you want in there. And then we have the strength session, and then we have the AMRAP side of things. You can make the screen size bigger or smaller, however you need to. We have a built-in timer as well, so that you have all the different timer types that you need. If you need to do countdowns for AMRAPs or intervals, if you're doing EMOMs or Tabatas or something like that, or if you're just doing stopwatch, if it's just something for time, you can do that. So that's all built in. This will play over the speakers. It has a countdown. Total 3. It's beeping in my ears right now. I don't know if you guys will hear that or not, but it counts down and then the timer's there, right? You can also sort of do this in full screen mode. It didn't really look any different on the screen sharing, but it blew up big onto my other monitor now. So yeah, makes it nice and easy for them to use inside the screen. There's like a little motivational message you can program down at the bottom, and we're always sort of revising this layout and stuff like that to meet the needs of the gym. So, but we give you a timer, we give you the workouts, give you the ability to swap in between things. Plus, obviously, this is all available inside the app. So you as an athlete can look up on the big screen, or you can look in your app and you get the same information there. So.
Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Well, that kind of covers for a coach. And then we can flip over to an owner's, a gym, adjacent to the gym admin view, where we'll be able to, if you want to go ahead, Tony, and switch that over, we'll be able to look at an athlete's page. So if you open up an athlete's page, you can see the memberships they have. You can manage holds and attendance, and then actually creating where you actually create your classes and programs, any financial history and things like that. Pretty much everything you need to run the gym will be viewed on the owner's page. So we have that separated in terms of access for a coach and an owner, just so that way the coaches don't have financial information up on the workout screen when people are coming in, as well as don't have the ability to change different things. So are we logged in? We made it?
We're logged in, yep.
Cool. So yeah, why don't we start there showing an individual athlete's details page. So if we pull up somebody, even I think of Seema's a good one. Just someone that has basically, you can see both like punch passes as well as monthly reoccurring memberships.
Oh, sorry. What did I do?
Or anybody. It could be that. There we go.
Okay.
Cool. So when you open up that page, there's basically a bar across the top where the first thing you kind of see there is, I'll let you actually explain it, Tony. You can walk through it.
Sure. Yeah. So this is the athlete detail page. So every athlete has a page like this, and this is kind of like if you're their coach, you would come here and you can see sort of the main history of everything that's going on. So you've got the basics, obviously their phone number and email address if you need to contact them. Paid items has everything that they have ever paid for. So every monthly membership that they've ever had. So you can see Seema has been a member for quite a while. If they have any holds, so if they put their membership on hold for any reason, it will show up here. Punch passes is a good example. And so if you get personal training sessions or drop-in passes or anything like that, that's like a one-time use type thing, they'll show up here so you can see how many you've used, how many you have left, et cetera, et cetera. Booking items is all the classes that you have attended. So any classes that you have booked or signed in for, they will all show up here. So as a coach, this is a good way to go back and see like how often people have attending, whether they're actually showing up, that sort of thing. Refunds. So if any refunds are issued, they will show up here. And then payment card. These are the different cards that are on file. So just basically all the basics that you need for taking care of an athlete, right? I'll go back here. We'll maybe censor that stuff out too.
And and the one last thing there's the button there, purchasing a membership. So again, everything can be done within the app. There is unique times where you may need to change a membership or do something for a member on the back end. So you have the ability to click on purchase memberships, search all the memberships within a gym, and basically either take a credit card, or this is where if you are accepting cash payments or debit payments, you would apply a membership there and mark it as paid with cash. So pretty much you can do everything that you still want to guide the athlete to say, hey, go look in your app, look at your punch passes. You do have the ability on the back end and insight into all of that. So that is there for the athlete page. Awesome.
That's awesome. So again, that's that idea of the member can do it in the app, or you have the ability in behind the scenes to do this stuff. So ideally you teach them to do that stuff, but if you need to, you can just obviously make the changes yourself.
Totally. Cool. So the next thing would be if you want to click on the financial history page. So this basically page at the top is going to have a list of all of the incoming transactions. I'll let Tony go through it a bit more. You can see what's cash and credit card, as well as things that they've actually purchased or they're just looking at in their app.
Yeah, so you can filter on all the different statuses. So like maybe let's just look at some of the paid ones that have happened recently. So these are all like the recent paid transactions. Think of this as just like, it's just your transaction history. You can go at any like the pending ones that might be there. These are often ones that have been like added to a shopping cart, but not the transaction not completed or anything. But you can filter on any of the different statuses. Also say like if you want to get into just the cash ones, you can do that. So boom, here's all the cash payments. Depending on your accounting system, this may be a report that your accountant needs because they see the credit card transactions somewhere else, but they maybe don't see the cash ones. So you may need to give them something like this. You can also filter on the different memberships. So let's reset this one. And let's just say if we want to say, just show me the prepaid ones, anything that are called prepaid. So we can look there. all the ones that show up. So you got a lot of ability to sort of filter on the different pieces. And then of course you can, if one of the athletes here, like, okay, what is actually happening? You can just click through right to their athlete's page.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So that gives you kind of an overview of that. And then the last kind of main parts, now you've seen how to look at individual athletes page, your financial. Now kind of the bulk of what you're doing is creating your classes and memberships or subscriptions. So within here, you're looking to set programs, how you can kind of create subscriptions. As we mentioned earlier, you can have two types. One is like a one-time purchase, meaning like their card gets charged once for like a one-time drop-in or a punch pass, and then reoccurring memberships, ones that automatically bill on the first of the month. So you have the ability here.
Yeah, so this is the subscription detail. So we can dig into that if you want. This is how you would set up a subscription.
Yes.
So then we've got the recurring and the one-time options that you mentioned. What were some of the other things that you said?
Yeah, those are the two main ones. And then basically once you choose if it's a one-time thing or a recurring one, you go down below and then you basically tell the system what programs that membership has access to. So maybe you have a Bootcamp membership and a CrossFit membership, and what this does is allows people to make a membership purchase, but restricts them to only purchasing or booking into classes that are included in that membership.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. And then from there, the last kind of thing is creating classes and workouts.
Okay. Yeah. So why don't we go through? So we showed you guys how to create the subscription when you actually sell it. The subscriptions are tied to the program. So if you think of a program as the track, let's say, like at our gym, we have a CrossFit program. So that's like every day we run 6, 7, 8 classes. It's the same CrossFit class every day. So that's a program. We make one workout for that day and it gets applied to all the classes for that day. We also at one point ran a Bootcamp program, which was, I think only like 2 classes a day and a different workout and stuff like that. And it was actually a different membership type. So in that case, actually, yeah, so we had this one, we had virtual Bootcamp, and we have another one called CrossFit, I think. Yeah, so CrossFit WOD, this is our main program. Bootcamp was another one that we had. So yeah, HIIT Bootcamp was another one. And you can sell memberships based on those different programs. And then you can also program the workouts individually within that. So the main one that we use, I'll go into that, is called CrossFit. This is our CrossFit WOD. And so the way that we start kind of every week when we're doing our programming is we come into the session. So we know where there's a program, we come into session management over here, and you can see every day is basically named by the date. So we create those sessions. We'll come in here and we'll create the session name. We usually just name it by like the date, whatever it happens to be. So let's say 2021. Whatever, 12, and then what's today's date, the 29th or something like that. You can go in here, you can add whatever you like for the warm-up, you can pick whatever you like for the movements, you just move them over. So we'll say that we're doing like the 12 days of Christmas as an example. You can see on the left-hand side here, we actually have 1,911 items already built. So in our library, I think when you start a gym, you start with about 1,200 movements, I think. And those are all the basics. Those are bench press, back squat, all those, as well as a lot of the CrossFit hero WODs, benchmark WODs, like those kind of things. And so we preload you with a lot of those things, and we keep those up to date over time. Like as the CrossFit Open will happen in a few months, we'll add CrossFit Open workouts, etc. But also as you run your gym, you'll create your own workouts probably. You maybe have your own stuff. And so anyway, they'll all show up here, and you can kind of preload them. And what you do is you pick them from the library and you move them over into the class. So that was me going from the left here over to the right. Now that it's in the right-hand column, I can go in and I can edit it if I want. And I can say, great, so it was the 12 days of Christmas. It includes all these different movements. Today, I'm not going to do ring rows. I'm going to change this and I'm going to do the pull-ups or something like that, whatever it happens to be. You can change this however you want to. You come down. Once this is all done, you'll save the session. And now once you've saved the session, you can go apply it to whatever class times that you want. And this session you can use for classes on Tuesday, you could use it for classes on Thursday, you could use it for classes a month from now. A session can be used over and over again. It can be created as on demand if you want as well. So that if you want people to be able to do it like at the end of a day or whatever, you can create the class so that it's on demand. So we'll go through this. Say we created the session, everything is good to go. Then we come over to the classes. Let's just look at today as an example. So I'll filter on today's date. Now it's a little bit different because our gym is closed right now. So normally what you would see here is a bunch of classes with the start time and the end time. And so you'll see an open gym class. This means from 7 to 8 p.m. at night, we run open gym, not a class, but just workout time. We'll skip over all these on-demand ones for right now. Okay, and then you'll see we had another class from 4:30 to 5:30. It's a CrossFit class. This is where you define the coaches, etc. Let me go into here and show you what a class looks like. So class name, session name, this is where you'll pick the session that you just created. Once you pick that session, it preloads all the stuff that you defined before over here. You can still change it if you feel like it, but it's usually good to go. You can create the class as pending if you just want it to be hidden behind the scenes, and then you can turn it as active later on. You can define the room. If you have a couple spaces in your gym, you can define what room it is. You can define the coaches that show up here. Capacity, this is how many people will be allowed to book into the class, start time, end times, etc., etc. This on-demand part is where you'll switch it from being a specific time to an on-demand, which means it's just available to be booked at any point throughout that day. I'm not going to change this one, but I'll maybe go back to the list and I'll show you. Yeah, so here's our on-demand classes. So originally, this CrossFit class was probably one of our class times. And so what we did is we came in and we switched it from being on-demand no to on-demand yes. And so what happens is this time, that instead of it asking for you for a start time and end time, it just asks you for the day. What day do you want to show up on? So we changed that. We increased the capacity to be 100. We changed the room that the place is in from being an actual physical name to a YouTube link, because there's a YouTube video that we're showing people how to do the workouts. But the workout's still the same. Everything's still the same. As an athlete, you can still log into the same session, and you can still track your workout. And so,
I think one thing with sessions or adding movements to a session, videos are not preloaded with each movement at this time. However, you can use any video link you have on YouTube when you're setting up your session. So you have the ability to add a unique link to videos for all of your movements within a session, as well as a link in the overall class. Let's say you have a link to a Zoom or a link to a coaching video. All of that is available to set up and be used within the app. So it's helpful.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. Like if you come into the movements themselves, like we have all the benchmarks already pre-written. You can see like for Murph, it has the whole paragraph about how to partition the pull-ups and stuff like that. There can also be a video loaded into that movement. And then once you save it once, every time forever in the future, when you load Murph, it'll come preloaded with that video. And so like if you make a good video or if you find a good video on CrossFit, you can load it in there and it'll just always be there for you when you need it.
Perfect. Awesome. That gives a pretty good overview of everything kind of the owner needs from that. Why don't we wrap up, Tony, with showing the new web version? So if, just the new web version that you have of the app.
Yep. Hold on, Canvas, gyms.bestbox. Sorry, I'm going by memory here. No dash. There it is.
Ta-da!
So yes, this is a new feature that we just launched. We're testing it in our own gym as well as one or two other facilities right now, and it's basically a web version of the membership page. So if we go back to BestBox, we went to programs and we set up all these different subscription types. These are basically the products that you're selling as a gym, right? This is the transaction that you're trying to close, is get them to buy a 12-month prepaid membership or a 1-month membership or whatever it happens to be. And so what we've done is, instead of always requiring somebody to first download an app to be able to transact with you, to be able to buy something from you, we've created a web version of this page that's included as part of the package. And so you get this URL. It'll live at a default of like campusathletics.gym.bestbox.app, but we can change that so that it is like something friendlier, like book.gym.campusathletics.ca, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
But it'll show up here, and then down below you'll see all the different memberships that a person has available. So if they want to, if they just want to sign up for personal training, 2 sessions, cool. They can press buy. They can come through here, see all the information, and they can go through this the login process and register and do that whole process outside of the app. And then once they're done doing that transaction, they'll get an email telling them to go download the app and how to log in and do all of that sort of stuff. But it basically allows you to sort of like self-generate leads and self-sell memberships, just like in e-commerce stores if you're selling like apparel and stuff like that. But we include it for you as part of that because we felt like it was necessary from our side. So yeah, it's important for you guys.
Totally. Awesome.
Cool. Website things. Awesome. What else did I miss? Trying to think. Campus.
We covered it.
Gym profile. For payouts, you can, we pay things out every day. So if you get paid or if somebody pays a membership today, you'll get that in 7 days. There's like a 7-day credit card hold on things, but you'll get paid daily. So it's like every day money could be going in if you're collecting money every day. The dashboard is something that we're constantly sort of like updating and tweaking, but the idea with this dashboard is to get some basic information here. Right now, it just runs like a daily total of payments that are coming through, some of the latest athlete check-ins and sign-ins and stuff like that, but we're always updating that one. What else? I think that's the main stuff.
Yeah, cool. Totally. That's a good overview for sure. Lots of little other details and stuff, but that gives a pretty good idea of how it works, how easy it is for the athlete, the access the coach has, and how an owner can run their business. So, woohoo!
Yeah. And so I think what would be maybe good to leave people with is like the people who BestBox is a good fit for today is if you're a micro gym and you're running group classes or anything like that, like we've definitely got more than what you need and really have a good like starter package to get you up and going on stuff. We will help migrate you off of whatever other platform is out there. That stuff doesn't scare us. It's a pretty easy process. And we built tools to be able to take customer lists from like Wodify and import them in and that sort of thing. And so we can help migrate, or if you don't have a system, we can help you get set up. That's no problem. We do have affiliate programming, which we have included in a lot of the apps. Currently, we're not charging for it. We may by the time that other people see this, but right now it's included as the stuff that we use in our own gym. I'm trying to think what else is there. And any personal trainers, anybody that's doing like that sort of one-on-one client stuff, definitely we can help with a lot of that area too. But definitely an ideal fit for somebody that's like starting on running group classes and doing that side of things. We've got all those boxes checked for sure.
Totally. Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks. So we'll leave it there. Right. If you guys have any questions on BestBox, what's the best way for people to get in touch with us? Follow us on Instagram, bestbox.co. DM us there. You get Nicole and I both. You can email, I think, hello@bestbox.co, and that will definitely get to both of us. You can get in touch with it anyway if there's anything that we can help with. And, outside of the software, you guys can follow us on the podcast. We help with a lot of other areas, but software is key to what we do. So we hope it was helpful that we covered some of the details on that today.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Cool. Thanks.